guys, today I'm going to be filming a video on how to plan a wedding on a budget. I recently got married October 11th, 2015, and before being engaged I didn't know how stressful planning a wedding could be. So I thought that this would be a good topic to bring to you guys to show you anybody who's getting engaged or married in the future, or just want to write this down and keep it for when the special day comes. This is how you can plan a wedding on a budget, a very small budget. Now I have my notes here on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that's why. So step one would be make the budget. So whatever it may be, what your budget may be for your wedding, you want to first off write that down. So for my wedding, I initially said I wanted it to be $5,000 and under. So if I could do it for $2,500, $3,000, it would be great. But you know, I initially set the budget for $5,000. So that's what you want to do. You want to first off make that budget. So whatever it is, you want a $10,000 wedding, make that budget and stick to it. That's number two. Stick to it. When you go to these wedding planning events or these bridal shows, you see all these beautiful cakes and beautiful photos that these photographers take. That will make you feel like, okay, I said I want to spend $10,000, but this photographer has these pictures and they cost $3,000. They're just so amazing. Maybe I can fit that in my budget somewhere and just bump it up to $8,000 instead of $10,000, or bump it up to $8,000 instead of $5,000. That's where you go wrong. When you start to see these beautiful cakes and you're like, oh my god, this cake is gorgeous, it's so pretty, it's $700 for a 3-layer cake. So I could just take this cake and scratch why I said I wanted to do a $200 cake. I'm gonna make this $700 cake and bump my budget up. It's only $500, right? But when you start to do that with your cake, your photography, your dress, that $500 turns into $5,000 and you'll be over your budget. So when you make the budget, make sure you stick to it. The second thing, my second tip would be look for alternatives. Okay, most people think wedding in a nice church or in a nice venue and reception to follow in a nice venue, or even a better, bigger venue. That's not always the case. So when it comes down to the venue, make sure you can look into different venues like golf courses, parks, inexpensive buildings. There's always a building that's inexpensive, and it's even more inexpensive if you rent it on a Sunday. So always look for Sundays. If you don't have a specific date that you want to get married on, then try to opt for a Sunday, because you'll end up saving almost $1,000 by just changing it from a Saturday or a Friday to a Sunday. Okay. So for your dress, you don't always have to run straight to Davis Bridal. Now I'm not going to lie, I went to Davis Bridal because I wanted to have the experience of trying on the dresses, and that was my first appointment. I made it at Davis Bridal. And then I started to look around. I went to consignment shops. We have a shop here in Memphis. It's called Barefoot Bride, and it's a consignment shop, and they sell used dresses for half the price of what they may retail in Davis Bridal. I ended up getting my dress from a small boutique. Try out small boutiques also in consignment shops, and if you can, rent the dress. I also went to a house here in this area, a lady who buys dresses and rent them. I so happened to find my dress there, but that's always a good option for some people, to rent a dress. My best friend found her dress at a store we have here in Memphis called Dirt Cheap. It's a consignment store. Well, no, it's not a consignment store. It's a, how do I explain Dirt Cheap? It's like, it's a store that get products from other stores like Target, and I don't know if it's Marshall's, but basically certain department stores, and they get the products. They're not used, they're just discontinued or out of stock or whatever the word is. It's discontinued. So they get those old discontinued products and they sell them for dirt cheap. My best friend, she got her dress at dirt cheap for $30. I can't explain to you how good of a deal $30 is for a dress. She only spent $30 on her dress. So definitely look into different consignment stores and smaller boutiques. I ended up getting my wedding dress at a small boutique for about $760. I think the dress was $7.99, and the lady who owned the boutique took $100 off for me just because she was nice. She took $100 off for me, so my dress was $6.99 before taxes, which is an awesome deal on a wedding dress because I was looking to spend $1,200 on a Davis bridal dress that I was in love with. Shout out to my pops because he's the reason why I was able to do any of this. As far as food goes, try your best to see different alternatives. See if your family can cook you. If your family can cook it, that will be great. If they don't, they're not into cooking for you, or if you don't trust their cooking, then go with a main dish like a pasta. I just recently went to a wedding and their main dish was a pasta. Then they had salad and bread on the side with the fruit, like a little fruit bar. That was very smart because they didn't have to go in and get chicken, beef, chicken, beef, pork. They just went with something simple. They had one main dish, which was chicken Alfredo, and then they had bread on the side and a salad. Bam, it's your wedding. You can do what you want. If you don't like chicken Alfredo, eat before you come or eat after you leave. As far as it goes with photography with weddings, see if you have a friend who may be good at photography or just have a nice camera. Like a lot of people who on YouTube, you have like a T3i or a Canon 60D or whatever nice camera you may have. Look into using that camera and maybe have a friend record or take pictures for you, and that will be free if it's your camera. Or if you have a photographer in your area that's just getting a start and they are not big, they don't have a big name for themselves, they may take your pictures for you and just charge you a cheaper price. For my photographer at my wedding, I ended up having a friend that's getting started in photography, and she only charged us $200 to take photos for our wedding. That's great compared to $800, $1,200. I even heard $2,600. So just look into alternatives. As far as the DJ goes, if you have a friend again that can do the DJing for you, that will be a good option. Or DJs don't run that expensive in this area, at least. I ended up booking my DJ for $300 or $200. I can't remember. It was either $200 or $300, which isn't terribly expensive. But if you have a friend that's into DJing or does it on the side and can charge you $50 or less free, then why not go with it? Wedding planners go, if you needed to have a wedding planner, I don't think you need one. Nowadays with Pinterest, Facebook, mainly Pinterest, you don't need a wedding planner. It's more stressful on you, but get your friends together and you all give, assign duties. Hey, so and so, I need you to be over helping me find this cake. It was a lot easier for me because I had a cousin that was getting married around the same time as me, so we kind of text and send each other Pinterest ideas, and we kind of was each other's planners. We helped each other pick ideas and put colors together and so forth. So I waited a little late to film this video and the sun is getting the best of me, so I'm going to wrap it up. So the three main things would be: make a budget, stick to it, and look for alternatives. And that's how you'll plan a wedding on a budget.